around here. He does hear a couple gunshots straying away here, so he knows that the Evo's VIP is in the vicinity. But oh well, there is a team, but it is not Evo's EVIP that they know that is going to be there. So Evo's IP, they've got a perfect setup, but at the same time, I don't think IPW would actually try and contest this, especially it's this early into this game.
Well, we can definitely see from the side of Evo's VIP, they definitely do have enough loots to book. Now, Razor, he has a 6x on that Scar, so he definitely will be able to actually go in to tap them down from quite a distance. And funny enough, it's actually a picture of Sam Z as well. So, yep, hopefully that will be sorted out, but no worries at all. We know who's who. So, back towards the side of Homeboys. They are still scouting out, and they understand that Dr. Internet is going to be right in front of it. So I think that it's going to be a little bit of a quick exchange. Oh, what a shot!
Wow.
That's going to be perhaps a first blood that might just come out of the way. And Ziso, I have a lot to talk about this player. This player, back in the few seasons ago, he was in TRX Elementis, even in the original Elementis roster, I think at one point. He's been rotating across the teams, and he is definitely a veteran. The Mosin Naga now being brought into play. It's very similar to the Carl 98K, and you could definitely hear that there's only a very slight sound difference.
It's just a weaker version of the Car 90K.
I feel it's about the same, though.
It's in terms of damage output-wise, Car 90K does do a little bit more, but when it comes to popping if or Mosin does get the job done just as equally as well here. But that's the thing, right? When it comes to these kind of scenarios here, beggars can't be choosers. You know, when it comes to economy-wise, you've got whatever loose here, trying to abuse as much as you can. But when it comes to the meta guns here, M4 has been one of the favorites here. But okay, we do see we do see the DP being picked up in terms of long range here, just because of how very little bullets you need to actually pop a head off. So compared to the M4 or even any other guns in the DMR department as well.
Yeah, indeed. And I do notice a really interesting fact that is that SMG, they ditched the buggy because it ran out of gas. So it's really important for people playing in the PUBG mobile scene to be counting on the stocks. And remember to always pick up maybe a gas can or two to just refuel in the midway. Now, J8's going to be rotating off of the islands into the mainlands as they hold onto the shore still. And early on, we did see SMG were driving towards the vicinities of Todak, and now there's a battle coming out there. SMG taking on a fight against Boskur, and this is where shots are being fired from multiple angles. And SMG, they're trying to book in towards the compounds as they will be able to arrive safely. And there you go. The PC player that has converted, Hanan, is now online.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, seeing how J8 Esports is moving here as well here, it's a smart decision to take advantage of the natural terrain to try and make rotate here. But if you get caught out, you're pretty much done here, because AUG will be the one to get caught out here. Great shots coming from SMG, holding compound, doing a couple set-offs as well. But at the same time, they've lost a couple vehicles here. But against A6, he's going for those burst fire taps with the DP here. A couple of lucky shots with the hit is going to get him the job done right now. But as of now, they have to hunker down, because SMG, they've lost a couple of vehicles here, and I'm worried for them, considering that they've lost a lot of vehicles here. One from the previous buggy, and now with another big buggy taken down here. Mobility wise, not looking good for them.
Yeah, this three-way battle is definitely going to be hurting them in terms of economy, like you said. Now, SMG, they have 6 now back on track, and he's showing off his firepower so early in the game. Unfortunately, none of these players that have been able to get the knock has secured a kill, so first blood has yet to be drawn, although there's being damages all across the board. So once again, 6 now focusing on towards cycle of NED Brotherhood as well. Man, NED joining the foray, coming in from the hills. This is going to be a little bit of a good angle for him to work with in terms of getting the sniper in hand, but he's got a lot of problems if he were to advance forward.
Yeah, I'm really liking what 6's loadout right now here. He's got a DP, he's got a Scar out here. It's a thing that it's two setups that a lot of teams don't exactly like, or players really like here. People will still prefer the M4 or maybe even DMR in this regards here. But if you compare it with other regions here, the Scar and DP setup does do a lot of damage if you know how to use it here. It's just that when it comes to aim assist, M4 is much more favorable. But if you can turn it off and micromanage and also control the recoils on the DP as well as the Scar L, it's a force you have to be worried about as well, because the amount of bullets and precision to get those lucky headshots is going to do some serious damage.
Indeed, and some players actually prefer not to even turn on the aim assist as well. Oh, some good damage coming out of 6 once again.
Exactly, look at that, just 2 taps, done. That's the power of DP right now.
And not only that, his reflexes is amazing. Just quickly scoping in through the window pane, and he does not really get damage in return. So Psycho as well as Zai, they really have to be really careful. Now, NED Brotherhood still keeping an eye out from the top of the hills. Now, back to what you were saying. Yep, when it comes down to preferences of guns, even the likes of the DP as well as all the other SMGs out there on the line is going to be great. Now, we do see the battle between 2 greats, Yudu Gank as well as Geek Fam. Now, Putra has already got 1 member being knocked down, and this is a key unit in the form of that. Oh my goodness! An explosion happens along the way as Miracle goes into cover up with some supporting smoke grenades. Now, Oasis does get a knock as well. This fight's happening across all the angles here. It's going to be really tough, but we are seeing Geek Fam now on the pursuit, trying to push through against Manparang.
Oh, Putra in a really weird, tough position here. He got a really lucky knock here, but this time, Yudu Gang, they are going to try and go in for the saves here. Drax is going to try and take a little bit of aggression here, but at the same time, he's a little bit afraid to go in for the commitment here, as there's going to be an open striker coming in. Drax goes for a couple shots in, gets a nice ding there. Geek Fam, they're going to be taking some serious fight here, but as of now, do they want to bail and rotate the circle here? Because as of now, Drax is going to make the rotation here as Manpower picks up Putra. He's going to reset this, and they are going to try and rotate for the next phase of the zone here. Doesn't exactly want to commit this fight, so it's going to be a small skirmish between both these teams, but chipping away in terms of the armor here is not exactly that great for both teams here, but nothing lost that much here coming from Geek Fam.
Yeah, I think it's a really smart move coming in from both teams, having the knowledge of, you know, not tanking the blue zone all too long, take the flight somewhere else in the future where phase 3 already starts to hurt them. So if you don't really have too much of the mats in your back to begin with, there's no point picking up this fight. It's a lose-lose battle in this sort of scenario where even if you win that fight 4-0, you will take too much time to get into the circle, and you might bump into some other teams eventually.
Exactly. The rotations is going to be a priority for both teams in that regards. And even if they won that fight here, taking those loots away from those to secure the kill is going to be so much time consuming in that regard. So it's a smart tactical play coming from both teams. However, coming in the third circle here, not a lot of teams are dead yet. There's still a lot of people alive. People are getting people are playing extremely passive this game, and this might be a huge problem for all these teams here, because if it's so hard to make those kind of tactical plays, because as of now, teams who stuck on the outside here, like you said as well, Geek Fam is now might be going into a couple run-ins here where R2K is going to be in the vicinity, but looks like R2K says, you know what, it's not worth it. We have a little bit of control. Let's push in there into the center of the circle.
Exactly. Ali plus R2K now being congested. There's so many teams now over on the southwestern side, and this one shifts all the way back towards the south side of Pachinki. Jinboy now gets a knock on towards Mile of J8 Esports. So, Yudu Gang, they do have a really good ditch that they can hide themselves from, and there's Evo's VIP slowly finding their way deeper into the region. So, now, heading back towards the south, Geek Fam, we see them struggle. They took on the fight against the likes of Yudu Gang. Now, needing to actually push through R2K is definitely no easy task. R2K, champions of the PMCO, Malaysia qualifiers, or you could say Malaysia Singapore qualifiers in that sort of sense, still is riding on that momentum. And Fair Pure is a really difficult place to move out from.
You know, it's interesting to see how the map went as well here, considering that Team Secret is one of the strongest team in Pochinki, and now this circle could be the south side of Pochinki here. A lot of the teams coming from the east side actually swung all the way from the north here, avoiding Pochinki and coming to the west. That's why we see a huge congestion of teams actually in the western side here, and it's quite surprising to see that teams are just trying to avoid Team Secret this rather early here.
I guess so. Like, you don't want to fight with one of the highest firepowering squad out there, but in the midst of rotation is Evo's VIP. This is going to be looking a little bit concerning. They are rotating in the middle of the open, and Jumper gets a pick off. He knocks down Luxy 98. Oh boy, I don't think that they're going to be going in for any saves anytime soon, but all these smokes needs to be popped up. Now, Evos now being stuck right on the open, but the good news is they are already in the zone, and the first blood goes to Jumper.
Great shot there coming from Jumbo, holding the mountain turrets here. That's going to be able to punish up Homeboys, who's pretty much stuck out and open here. Meanwhile, IPW here going to get straight off here at DFB. Going to find a couple shots in here. Arm will take a couple shots in. So that's going to be a few blood casualties already starting to make way here. GigFam, meanwhile, they're struggling to play the help and fuse here, but we do see Evos already starting to set up a couple interesting shots here. Razor getting a couple knocks in. Damru gets caught off. GigFam's going to be in some trouble. Meanwhile, we do see a couple stragglers.
Secara langsung 1 kill untuk DMS.
Yup, DMS pada ketika ini Evo VIP dapat 1 counter kill sebentar tadi. Tapi Geekfam juga ditembak jatuh. Mungkin kalau kereta ini terjatuh juga habis. Tapi Damroot akan dibunuh secara langsung. Mereka akan dapat 1 kill. Evo VIP 1 kill mereka dapatkan. Tapi mereka berada di hujung circle. Tempat yang tidak begitu opportune ataupun tidak begitu baik sebenarnya.
Oh, malang sekali untuk Geekfam. Dah lah tadi Damroot dihabiskan serta-merta. Snipes yang cuba untuk diangkat oleh Miracle sekarang ini dua-duanya telah pun gone. Geekfam rata di tempat yang ke-16. Satu permulaan yang menyedihkan untuk pasukan Geekfam, tapi tidak mengapa. Ini baru saya permulaan. Liga masih panjang, masih ada 2 hari lagi berbaki dan juga beberapa round pada hari ini juga. Tapi Toge Ayam mungkin boleh menyelamatkan Psycho, antara tunggak utama mereka sebelum ini bermain untuk NED Brotherhood. Kita lihat Psycho tak kala dia bermain, waktu tu dia pun tengah nak berhenti kan. Dia main je, ada perubahan yang besar berlaku pada pasukan beliau. Tapi Homeboy, Inaoki dan juga Nook akan cuba untuk di spray down oleh Samzi. Evos VIP 1 kill telah didapatkan oleh mereka.
Oh, tapi ini satu benda yang begitu menakutkan. Kita melihat daripada bahagian kanan kita, Dingoz begitu agresif sekali. 3 kill sudah mereka dapatkan. Dan TS juga mendapatkan 1 kill, tapi mereka juga kekurangan 1 player pada waktu ini yang telah pun jatuh sebentar tadi. Dan Mak Toy akan dijatuhkan juga pada waktu yang sama oleh Suncon. Dan Yuhai mendapatkan serangan balas dan Yuhai akan ditembak jatuh juga. Trixnity juga akan dijatuhkan. Kali ini memang macam parti malang sekali untuk Chopper. Dia dapat 1 tembakan itu, tetapi dia juga dijatuhkan oleh Circle.
Yup, ini adalah circle yang sangat-sangat sakit sebenarnya. Kalau dia masih boleh dipegang sebelah jumper oleh si Fredo. Tapi inilah keadaan sukar sebab mereka sudah pun hilang 2 member pada waktu ini bagi Team Secret. Tapi mereka ada 3 kill. Rotation mula dilakukan tadi terdapat R2K Last Survivor. Memang suka bermain daripada tebing-tebing kat sebelah laut ini. Dan mereka akan kekalkan kawasan ini untuk mereka. Habis circle adakah akan tarik ke atas ataupun ke bawah. Mosgoku akan knockdown dengan 1 grenade tangan. Jauh daripada member-member yang lain. Circle akan ke atas.
Circle akan ke atas. Malang sekali untuk mereka yang berada di bawah ini. Terutama seperti tim R2K tadi yang memang duduk di tepi-tepi. Dan mereka juga dijatuhkan pada waktu ini. 2 telah pun dijatuhkan. Sangat-sangat kritikal situasi R2K. Dan sebenarnya perjalanan mereka nak ke depan tu tidak ada benteng untuk lakukan. Nasib baik ada kereta 2. Tapi tak tahu boleh menunggu pakai ke tak.
Itu adalah satu gamble revival yang dilakukan oleh pemain daripada pasukan R2K. Sebab kalau tak mereka akan rata secara langsung. 3 orang pemain telah dijatuhkan. Mosgoku dihabiskan serta-merta. Todak penjagaan yang begitu baik sekali di kawasan rumah 12 ini. Punya tebing memang sangat cantik. Tapi nampak gaya Ichong akan dibiarkan sahaja. Ziggs dan juga Vex mungkin akan terpaksa untuk menggalas tanggungjawab bagi pasukan R2K. Tetapi kita lihat di bahagian selatan on the go Hunter terlalu penuh. Sebelah atas tu bosku, dia boleh masuk dengan selamba je, relax sebab tak ada siapa kacau dia orang. Circle pun tak berapa jauh tapi Zigzag akan dibunuh pada waktu ini. R2K dalam keadaan yang berbahaya.
Sangat-sangat bahaya sebenarnya untuk pasukan R2K. Saya tak nampak bagaimana mereka boleh pergi tanpa mengorbankan 1 ataupun 2 player mereka di saat-saat akhir untuk masuk ke dalam circle. Tetapi pada ketika ini kita melihat kepada Todak Kid. Mereka juga memain dengan sangat baik pada ketika ini. 2 kill dan mereka tak tahu bolehkah mereka mendapatkan entry yang mudah. Tapi iPhone Wanted akan menjatuhkan ataupun menjaga tempat tersebut. Dan Blazer juga telah menjatuhkan Vex sebentar tadi. Jadi pasukan R2K hanya tinggal mungkin 1 player saja sebenarnya.
Dan 1 player tersebut berada di bahagian luar circle. Tim bosku entah apa yang terjadi. Mereka masih lagi belum berjaya untuk menyelit masuk ke dalam. Walaupun daripada bahagian atas tak ada siapa sangat kacau. Mereka 2 mati. Akibat daripada perjalanan yang dilakukan oleh mereka. Tim Secret pun masih lagi bermain healing. Tadi kita lihat Fredo tersangkut. Tapi Aipong punya tempat ataupun dia punya pondok sekarang ini sedang dilanggar oleh pasukan Todak. Todak betul-betul langgar. Kisah satu pemain yang tinggal. Adakah dia mampu untuk membuat konten di sini untuk membunuh pick OP. Seterusnya menyelamatkan lagi 3 rakan dia yang sekarang ini dalam keadaan knockdown.
Oh ya, betul. Kalau betul dia ni memang ini satu konten yang sangat baik untuk dia. 1 orang selamatkan 3 orang. Tapi itu dia pick OP balik 1 pom. Mungkin ini pengakhirannya untuk pasukan Todak.
Kenapa dia tak balik kat dalam?
Saya pun tak pasti apa yang terjadi kat situ.
Dia cuba menembak, dia dapat. Tak, dia dah kena knockdown. Nyawa betul-betul asing. Dia kasi tahu untuk Janik. Tapi Janik boleh selamatkan ketiga-tiga member dia sekarang ini. Tapi tembakan masa dilepaskan. Dia cuba lakukan revival. Letupan akan berlaku. Tapi tidak cukup. Dia akan berjaya revive. Keempat-empatnya Todak akan bangkit semula dengan 4 orang player dekat sini.
Oh ya, tu dia memang betul-betul mungkin satu kesilapan dekat situ. Kalau lah dia paling bom masuk dekat dalam tadi, dia dah settlekan masalah itu. Tetapi sekarang ini pasukan Todak akan kembali menjadi masalah dengan 4 player mereka. Boleh diselamatkan. Evos tinggal 1 orang. Dingoz sekarang ini 4 player, 7 kill.
7 kill sekarang ni. Satu lagi tim akan dikeluarkan, itu DFV. But akan di knockdown. Cuba dibunuh secara langsung dekat sini oleh jentera pejuang. Wong dapat satu, tapi nyawanya sangat-sangat rendah. Dia mungkin akan jatuh. Yep, dia akan dikeluarkan dekat sini. 10 tim saja yang tinggal. Tetapi Dingoz MPX, mereka dekat mana dengan 7 kill dekat. Itu dia, melompat-lompat mencari tauge ayam. 2 orang sudah pergi knockdown. Epi cuba membawa masuk play-play ini ke dalam circle. Inilah mata Malaysia, gerai tangan. Cuba dimasak di baling Kara Oasis dekat sini. Ini juga menjadi target mereka. Pada waktu ini 8 kill Dingoz MPX.
Dingoz MPX dengan peluang yang terbaik sebenarnya. Mereka satu-satunya dengan 4 player yang masih lagi hidup. J8 mungkin kontender yang seterusnya, tetapi dia orang dah ada satu orang yang terjatuh pada waktu yang sama. Dah perlu di-revive pada waktu ini. Tapi kalau kita lihatkan dari segi kedudukan, kemungkinan Dingoz boleh tembus masuk ke dalam. Hanya ada satu pasukan saja yang mereka kena lawan dalam circle tu. Yang lainnya semua dekat luar, dan Dingoz mungkin akan main peluang ini untuk dapatkan lebih banyak kill. Tapi mereka dah seolah-olah sikit lagi dapat. Chicken dia menyemarkan dengan 8 markah daripada kill.
Ya, perjalanan masuk sekarang ni cuba dilakukan oleh mereka. Samzi membaling api-api ke hadapan. Itulah Yudu Gang. Drex dalam keadaan knockdown, cuba dibunuh secara langsung, tidak berjaya. Api-api tidak akan kena sasaran pada waktu ini. Tapi Wraith akan mendapatkan satu player daripada NED. Tembakan dijepaskan, Wraith akan di knockdown. Artuki last survivor di hadapan beliau, tapi smoke sudah pun dibaling oleh Dingoz MPX. Mereka macam kau cakap ada number advantage pada waktu ini. Pengakan dapat dilakukan oleh EVOS VIP. Dia cuba 1 lawan 3 dekat sini. Samzi dapat 1 dekat situ. Mencari yang kedua. Sempat atau tidak? Dia dapat yang kedua. Samzi, dia akan bunuh 7 kill untuk EVOS. Tinggal seorang saja dan nyawanya penuh dekat sini. Samzi mencari. Dia akan mencari tidak. Yudu Gang akan hidup dekat di tim mereka belakang sebenarnya oleh Toda. Yudu Gang juga akan dikeluarkan secara langsung. EVOS
dan Yudu, perlawanan yang begitu hampir sekali 1 lawan 3 dan hampir dapat clash dari Samzi. Begitu cantik sekali, tapi itulah malang sekali mereka diratakan oleh pasukan Toda. Malang Toda sebab satu pasukan yang boleh rata awal tadi, tapi pemalingan grenade itu yang menyelamatkan mereka. Dan sekarang ini Zik satu yang memang betul daripada asalnya last survivor, dia sekarang ini last survivor untuk pasukan dia.
Betul, lebih inilah dia 8 pasukan yang masih lagi ada dalam permainan kita. Toda masih lagi ada. Ismail tak boleh diletupkan oleh Gameboy. Toda bermain dengan begitu garang sekali untuk permainan mereka. Yang pertama selain daripada Dingoz MPX, mereka tadi ada dah at least 6 ataupun 7 kill untuk pasukan mereka saja. Camper sedang duduk bersendirian saja di dalam pondok coklat tersebut, dan rasanya itu masih lagi sebahagian daripada kawasan circle yang berikutnya. Maka dia boleh sabar saja untuk keluar mencacing. Depan ada J8, R2K, Ziggs memang betul-betul duduk tengah-tengah. So mungkin secara tidak langsung dia akan dijaga kerana Dingoz kalau dia nak pick kepada player R2K itu, dia kena lawan juga dengan satu pasukan di hadapan mereka. Tapi Raizai free fire random dekat situ. Anik masih lagi belum berjaya untuk mendapatkan Raizai.
2 kill untuk Jade pada waktu ini. 2 orang player mereka masih lagi hidup. Tetapi kat sini terdapat Jin Boy. 5 kill sekarang ini untuk Toda. Dan tauge ayam juga akan dikeluarkan pada waktu di tempat ke-8. 5 tim saja berbaki. Tiba-tiba 3 tim hilang secara langsung. Jin Boy mendapat tembakan dekat sini secara rambang. Dia akan mencacing back dia. Mungkin akan lihat sekarang ini. Dia akan dilihat oleh Jenny. SMG top 4 kemudian dibunuh. Seperti satu segitiga dekat situ. Pembunuhan berlaku pada waktu ini. 6 hidup. 3 tim bersama dengan kita.
Ya, tiba-tiba saja tinggal 3 tim. Tapi pada waktu ini R2K masih lagi hidup. Macam biasa, mereka ini sangat-sangat licik. Pasukan Revenge to Kill Ziggs pada waktu ini berhadapan dengan pasukan Dingoz. Tapi Dingoz begitu padu sekali permainan mereka. 12 kill, 4 player masih lagi hidup.
Yap, tapi pemburu akan dijatuhkan oleh Ziggs. Kali ini trade akan dilakukan. So Aipong akan kekal di tempat yang kedua. Tapi Dingoz MPX permulaan yang sangat-sangat cemerlang dilakukan oleh mereka. Bukan setakat mereka menang Chicken Dinner, mungkin bersih dengan 4 orang player. Dan sekarang ini mereka dah ada 13 kill. So itu satu permulaan yang sangat-sangat positif untuk satu pasukan yang memang telah pun menjadi highlight sejak daripada sebelum start lagi. Tapi itulah dia, match has ended. Winner-winner Chicken Dinner sah menjadi milik Dingoz MPX.
Wow, satu permulaan yang super baik, dan mereka telah menunjukkan kenapa desas-desus yang mengatakan Dingoz MPX adalah pasukan yang untuk dilihat oleh orang ramai, merupakan satu pasukan yang memang